U.S.-Russian relations are the worst they've ever been. But Putin's not the reason. We're the reason. Just like we're the reason the Chinese are cleaning up on trade. It's not that they cheat. It's because for years we let them cheat. Never mind Russia invaded the Ukraine. We let them invade the Ukraine. Or that China seized on Americans' appetite for cheap goods. We let China seize on Americans' appetite for cheap goods. So it's not that Russian leaders weren't cunning. Our leaders weren't cunning. Not that China's leaders weren't shrewd. Our leaders weren't shrewd. Not that Canada has become a threat to our national security. We let them become a threat to our national security. Canada? So don't blame any of their leaders. Blame our leaders, just not this leader. Because to hear this president tell it, it's not his fault the world is a mess. All right, I got a lot of reaction to that. We're going to have a lot more of that on Your World on Fox News later on at 4 p.m. Eastern time. A lot of you not thinking much of my comments there or that I was besmirching the president. My goal was his besmirching his predecessors or being more inclined to accept the word of his enemies than those of his friends or those who served in office. I want to get the read from a big backer of the President of the United States and a good human being in his own right, but one I never heard disparage any of his predecessors in business or politics, so he's in what I call a box here. The former GOP presidential candidate, Herman Cain, on what he makes of this blame game. I just was trying to pin you in the corner, Herman, but I don't like that when I hear it out of the president. And I saw it on full display with Vladimir Putin, and that's what worried me. What do you say?
Well, first of all, let me say amen to your opening monologue, okay? Secondly, we all know that Russia has been our enemy for decades, and it probably wasn't a good move to imply that President Trump agreed with President Putin. That probably wasn't a good move, okay? Now, take that along with all of the other actions this president has taken to drop the hammer on Russia, and that's the one thing they wanted to focus on, the parsing of certain words. Now, if you get past that, the president has been consistent. He did something about a lot of those things that you mentioned in your monologue. The previous administration did nothing. And let's not forget the infamous open mic, when President Obama leaned over and said, after the election, right, I'll have more flexibility. Why wasn't that played up as treasonous and disgusting like they're trying to play up this implication?
Well, I think this was disgusting. I don't think it was treasonous. So I'll split hairs with you.
I don't either.
Okay, but here's what I want to get from you. It reminded me that he does seem to put greater stock in our enemies than he does our friends, to call the European Union an enemy or to criticize his predecessors. Every president does it, I grant you, and Barack Obama would blame George Bush, and I know how that goes. But he's put it on steroids, and I sometimes think it hurts him because he sometimes warps history, Herman. I mean, say what you will of Barack Obama, and I know you have some fond thoughts of him and not so fond thoughts, but a bull market had ensued under Barack Obama. You might not want to give him all the credit, but it happened under his watch. But for the president to say he inherited a mess or a depression, I think is a stretch, and I think it doesn't serve his argument well. He took it to a new level. He has advanced this in ways thought unimaginable. To his credit, stop blasting the other guy.
I would agree with you on he doesn't need to blast the other guy, but he did inherit an economic mess. All you have to do is look at the economic metrics today.
They're better, Herman, they're better today, but if you call 4-something% unemployment a mess, if you call steady job gains, and again, they were not robust, it was not a off-the-charts recovery of an average of a couple 100,000 a month, and bouncing off what had been close to 1 million jobs lost a month, that's not a mess.
Well, Neil, I'm going to take a little bit of an issue with you. Remember, for 8 years, the GDP was hovering almost 2%. It wasn't even 2%.
No, you're absolutely right.
The previous administration wanted us to accept that as the new normal. Now, you and I have been around a long time. And I remember being on the board.
Speak for yourself.
I remember being on the board of the Federal Reserve Bank in the early 1990s, which, by the way, is the first time I was on your show. And I remember GDP being 4% plus. And the previous administration wanted us to accept 2% as normal. Now, it is projected by the Atlanta Fed that it could be 3.5, 4, maybe even 4.5. We will know next week. My point is, he doesn't need to continue to ding the previous administration. Maybe he's doing it because Democrats have short memories when it comes to what he inherited. And this is why they focus in on all of this malarkey relative to the mincing of some words rather than the impressive results that we have seen for the last 17 months.
I mean, the record and what he's done and the accomplishments and the economic continuation of this, that he's kept going for recoveries, that's very, very unusual. Hats off to him for keeping it going. But then to sort of make it seem like you came in like, FDR into the Great Depression, come on.
Neil, he did come in after something like the Great Depression.
Oh,
give me a break.
Now you're drunk, Herman. Now you're drunk. I think you're drunk.
No. I wouldn't call it the Great Depression, but the nation was depressed. We were depressed in terms of attitude. We were depressed in terms of the job market.
I am not an apologist for Barack Obama. I'm not looking at this through a left or right field. You know me. I'm a nerd with numbers. I look at what we had. I do know what Barack Obama stepped into. You could argue that just hanging around things would get better, and they did. You could make an argument for this president, too, that it would be hard to sustain a recovery that had been going on, weak as it was, but as long as it was, and he did keep it going. Hats off to him. I just find it a little galling, and maybe it's done in business, and maybe it's not. I can't imagine you doing this where you focus on the failures before to make what you're doing so much better. What you're doing is good. Leave it at that.
No, Neil, I think your reading is wrong on that, with all due respect, my friend, and here's why. The liberal media, the nightly news, are never going to talk about those things. And because he's the president of the United States, he has to highlight some of those things, even though most of them are not going to be reported on. So I am not going to ding him for comparing what's happening now to what happened the previous 8 years. Because, as you know, the liberal media, the nightly news, are not going to give him any credit for it.
I think we have time to do it all. I think we have time to do it all. I think we have time to give real statistics, true statistics, let the American people decide, and leave it at that, and not play politics on the right or the left with it. What do you think?
I don't agree.
Okay. Well, making your final visit to our show. Herman, seriously, I'm glad we had this. We can still say friends, but I'm going to take you off my call list.
Yes, we are.
Always good seeing you. Be well. Herman Cain.
Thanks, Nia.